Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Huang. I'm currently a PhD student at Lancaster University. I'm from the Department of Entrepreneurship, Strategy, and Innovation. Yeah, and I'm also the president of the Chinese Students and Scholars Association. So, China is commonly known as the workshop of the world, and is currently the world's largest exporter in terms of merchandise. But in terms of innovation, many people still believe that the West is home to creativity and innovation. China is only a follower, an imitator, or maybe some people say, a copycat. So when we ask why China cannot innovate, the answers quite varies. So some people they blame the Chinese government because you failed to protect the intellectual property right in China. And other people blame, again, still is the government because of protectionism. The protectionism removes the incentive for Chinese companies to innovate. And other people blame the education system because the rote learning system doesn't encourage creativity. How can students so obsessed with their scores be innovator? So those are some of the challenges China is facing. So although it's true that innovation in China is still lagging behind, but the problem is the gap actually we can see is narrowing. So my focus today is more about what China is doing about innovation and what's the impact on our global future. Basically, Professor Sen and also David have mentioned about some of the impacts on the world. So we can understand innovation in China actually from two perspectives. The first one would be top-down. So many innovation in China actually are driven by the government, by the different governmental policy. And another innovation is a bottom-up approach. So basically, some innovations in China actually is driven by Chinese companies, also by Chinese consumers. And so first, many innovations in China are driven by the government. One example is about in 2006, the Chinese government set a medium to long-term plan for the development of science and technology. The aim of the plan was to reduce its reliance on the foreign technology and to increase domestic research and development. So as a result of this plan, actually we have seen a significant growth in terms of R&D spending in China. So this is the data from the World Bank. As we can see, the research and development expenditure as a percentage of the national GDP in China actually is growing rapidly in the past decade. And based on if China can maintain this current growing rate, it's expected that this can surpass the USA and also within 5 to 10 years. But as we can see from here, in the UK and also in the United States, the rate is relatively quite stable. In addition to the R&D spending, another number is about the number of patent registration by Chinese companies actually have also grown significantly. This is the data from the World Intellectual Property Organization. As we can see, the room color one is China. As you can see, the number is growing. But I have to say, sometimes the quantity is not equal to quality and it's not equal to influence. Still, personally, I think China still has a long way to go. But at least we are seeing improvement. So this is about the top-down innovation in China, driven by the government. In addition to this, many innovations in China are driven by the Chinese Chinese companies and also Chinese consumers. And the first, according to a recent study from McKinsey Global Institute, they published a report talking about innovation in China in 2015. So according to their report, China has a very large and dynamic market. Actually, this provides a very ideal opportunity for Chinese companies to develop, to innovate, because it's easier for them to commercialize their idea and also at the same time to scale up their business. So this table shows the top 20 global brands. It's supposed to be top 100, but we don't have enough space, so I only put top 20 here. So basically, in 2006, there was only one Chinese company on this list, but last year, 2016, we have 3 Chinese companies. First, Tencent, and then we mentioned about Tencent quite a lot, and China Mobile, and also Alibaba. Both of you, I think, have mentioned about Tencent and Alibaba as 2 examples. So the large and dynamic market can encourage innovation. Why? So let's take Tencent as an example. Tencent is very famous for its innovative product, WeChat. I mean, if you have been to China, I'm pretty sure you are quite familiar with this app. And currently, WeChat has about 847 million users. So why we call it an innovative product? Just 2 examples. In 2003, Tencent introduced a mobile payment system, which is this app. But Facebook introduced this similar function in 2015. So it was 2 years later than Tencent. Another example is Tencent allow users to start their online e-commerce site by using this app. And Facebook started that in 2014. Again, it's 1 year late. Because of those interesting innovative features from the WeChat, last year, the Financial Times did publish a program talking about how China is changing your internet. It's a very interesting video, just 5 minutes. If you haven't seen that, check it out. You will be surprised to know what we can use with the WeChat, how China is changing the internet. So another example, I think mentioned earlier, is about Alibaba. Alibaba is currently the largest e-commerce retailer site in the UK, in China, and because of the company's success, it's quite interesting because last year, David Cameron invited the founder of Alibaba to be his business advisor, but that was before he resigned. And another story, Alibaba last month, so basically just became the official Olympics partner because of Alibaba has a very good experience in terms of dealing with a huge amount of transactions. So last year on the Singles Day, 11th of November, the sales was about close to 18 billion just in one single day. What does this mean? This means every single second, the company need to deal with over, I think, 120,000 deals within 1 second. So because of this experience, this is one of the reasons Alibaba won the contract from over Amazon. So this is 2 examples of how Chinese companies they are trying to innovate. And apart from the large and dynamic market, it's quite interesting because we all know China is good at manufacturing. So it's true, China has a very well-established manufacturing ecosystem. So what does this mean? Again, back to McKinsey. They found that they divided innovation in China into 4 different categories. So they found that actually Chinese companies are really, really good at efficiency-driven innovation. So what does this mean? So they're good at improving the process of production, the process of design, and the process of supply chain management. And this can help they use this to reduce the cost and also to accelerate the speed to the market. Again, just to show you an example. This is just one example of the manufacturing ecosystem in China. Here, Shenzhen. I used to work in Shenzhen, China. Actually, I lived there for 10 years. And Shenzhen, within 2 hours driving radius, you can see, we have over 1,000 of electronic equipment manufacturers. And lots of different suppliers are available there. Because of this well-established manufacturing ecosystem, many companies, when they are developing their products, when they want to prototype, the time to prototype and the cost to produce a prototype actually is much shorter. And so this is another big advantage in terms of efficiency-driven innovation. But of course, in terms of engineering-based high-tech manufacturing, China is still lagging behind, but we can see it's still improving. So basically, one example would be the high-speed rail. Actually, China is doing quite good in this area because I think in China has built over 16,000 kilometers of this high-speed rail. Of course, the technology is not a good part because of they can accumulate experience, and you can see a big improvement on this. So we talk about the top-down and bottom-down innovation. So what? What is we care about what is happening in China? I think that we have has also already mentioned about the answer. China's problem is also the world's problem as well. So personally, I believe what China is trying to do has impact on our global future. The first is about our global environment. And China is currently the world's biggest consumer, but also producer of energy. So it produces about 90% of the energy it consumes. But we all know that China is facing a big challenge in terms of the pollution, air pollution, water pollution. So they realize this is a big challenge they have to deal with. So what can they do? What can China do? So a recent example is 2 years ago, the State Council in China, they just announced Made in China 2025 initiative. So the idea, the aim of this initiative is to transform the manufacturing sector in China. But one of the key targets is to encourage innovation in the green sector. So for example, now they are trying to develop the infrastructure to generate, to store, and to distribute different variety of renewable energies. I remember, so last month we had Chris talking about energy problem is solved. It depends on if China can maintain the growth in terms of using renewable energy. So this is one big what China is trying to do in terms of tackling the environmental problem. Apart from this one, I think China is also spending billions every year paying the subsidies in terms of using renewable production in terms of the production and consumption of green energy. In addition to this environmental impact, I think there's another impact of what China is trying to do can impact our global economy. So one example, more and more global companies now actually they are choosing China as a base for their research and development. Why? Because they want to be close to the customer, to one of the biggest markets in the world. In 2004, there was less than 600 research and R&D centers in China, and the number I think was more than 1,200 in 2010, and it's still growing. So, because the innovation achieved there can then be applied in other emerging countries and also all over the world. In addition to that, I think what you mentioned about earlier is about acquisition. So in the past several years, we have seen a very interesting trend of China outward investment. This is shifting from commodity resources to technology. So Chinese companies, now they are trying to fill the gap in terms of their innovation capability by acquiring foreign technologies and acquiring talents rather than by renting or by stealing. So this is what Chinese companies do. In the business context, we always say, if you cannot beat them, you have to join them, right? But for China, oh sorry, if we cannot beat them, we have to acquire them. So this is what China is trying to do. So just to conclude, it's true, innovation in China is still lagging behind, but it's catching up. And because China is the country with the biggest population and also the second biggest economy in terms of GDP terms, I think what China is doing, what's happening there, has significant impact on our global future, on our global environment, and also on our global economy. Yeah, thank you.